What is up, Packers fans? Welcome back to the Daily Draft, brought to you by Brewski Light Lager from Badger State Brewing. I'm your host, Ross Uglem. I'm sorry we missed you on this weekend. I had a wedding, and ultimately, I'm sick. I know we battled whatever we battled last year during the daily draft, and this year has been a lot better. And frankly, I sound better right now than about 90% of last year's daily draft. But I think it's just kids. I think you just have kids and you send them to daycare and they go, you know, gather these diseases and then they take these diseases and they bring them back into your home. And that's what I think might have happened. Either that or, we went to the Minnesota Twins opener for my daughter's birthday. Um, and I'm sure bumped against somebody that had the bird flu or something, but had to be at a wedding. Was going to do a couple of prospect primers from the hotel room, just didn't have it in me. So that's on me. I apologize. Today, though, it is Mock Draft Monday. We are so very excited as always. We will go through a mock draft that I have not seen yet from my friend Kyle Krabs. Kyle, one of the OGs at the Draft Network. Um, along with like Ben Solak and John Ledyard and Trevor Sickham and a bunch of other really good human beings that kind of got that thing off the ground. Kyle now with the 33rd team. And as I have said many times, this is my genuine reaction. We have not seen this, or I have not seen this yet. That which I am to show you. This 7-round mock is not something that I have seen. So we will, deal with this emotionally together. We'll go through round 5. Okay, right in front of the Packers, you'd be thrilled. Jackson Dart that'd be great. You'd love to see a quarterback go right in front of Green Bay. You'd love to see a tight end go right in front of Green Bay. I think both of those selections would be awesome. And yeah, I'd be thrilled. I get the criticisms. I do. I understand them. I get the concerns. Get all that. But I'd be thrilled with Shamar Stewart. I think he's a top 10 talent, and hopefully this new DeMarcus Covington, the new pass rush coach or the new D line coach, can get out of Lucas Van Ness what should be gotten out of Lucas Van Ness. And there is no such thing as too much pass rush. You can tell me, oh, well, if Van Ness hits, then they have Van Ness and Gary. Cool. Give me a third one. Give me a fourth one. Give me a fifth one. Start kicking Van Ness inside. Start kicking Gary inside. Start, monster walking Shamar Stewart like you did Zadarius Smith. These are beyond champagne problems. They're not problems. They're features. So I don't want to hear, oh, they take Shamar Stewart to giving up on Lucas Van Ness. That's not how NFL team building works. Okay. Oh, no, we just keep going. Okay, round 2. Packers, Green Bay. Siobhan Revel. And by the way, Siobhan explained that. I got tagged. Shout out to whoever tagged me on X. It's Siobhan Revel. I'd be through the moon here. I think Revel is an unbelievable lottery pick in the second round. I think he's a very scary first-round pick. I think he is an unbelievable opportunity in round 2. If you started Shamar Stewart, Siobhan Revel, I would be just through the moon. Shout out to my guy Krabs. He's killing the game right now. Quinshot Judkins. That would be something. That would send our guy Jacob Morley through the moon. I think it would be clearly saying that you're going to get out of the Josh Jacobs contract after this season, which maybe you should. But I think that would be team malpractice if Josh Jacobs was on the roster in 2026 at that point. It would be team malpractice to not roll with Judkins and Marshawn Lloyd and Chris Brooks or whomever as your 1, 2, 3 if you're going to send a second consecutive top 100 pick on him back. Let me make this clear. I don't think this is going to happen. If it did happen, like I said, I would treat Jacobs as a trade candidate after this year or a release candidate after this year and roll with Judkins and Lloyd, who I think would be an awesome NFL tandem. This is just it's a hell of a pick. It's a hell of a pick because I think Judkins could be really special with the Packers. Jackson Slater, Sacramento State in round 4. I think he's an FCS tackle convert, so that actually sort of makes a little bit of sense. I'd have to look at where he is on Jacob Morley's tiering. And then Jay Toya, I am hoping, that is a nose tackle type human. I would guess that it is a nose tackle type human. And 6'3", 325. That is a nose tackle type human. So that is your carbon copy 5th round TJ Slayton replacement. Great job, Krabs. I think what you did with the Judkins pick was insane, but I'm forced to respect it. I am forced to respect it. All right, we're going to go back to the PFF mock draft simulator. We used the ESPN one, which I thought was fine and cool and dandy, but I wanted to kind of go home for this one, and really kind of keep options open. I'm going to center out all the sliders. Really keep options open regarding trading up or down. Saw Bill Huber and Jacob Westendorf get after that concept a little bit. I still think trading down 5, 6, 7, 8 picks is the way to go. I don't know that the trade partner is going to be there. I don't know what someone's coming up to get, but we'll take a look here. Okay. Tyler Warren, Will Johnson. I would love to take Will Johnson. I would. And in fact, I'm going to, because there are no trade offers on the table. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Boy, this is really helpful. Here we are, folks, on the video side. Tyler Warren, we're not going to take. Luther Burden or Will Johnson. I've taken Luther Burden recently. I'm going to take Will Johnson. I just think he's one of the best 6 or 7 players left in this draft. I'm hoping and kind of praying the Packers have testing from Michigan like before he got hurt. I was saying that, I think I was on with Peter Bukowski. Like, I happen to know that North Dakota State tracks that. And that's just because I'm tight with that program. So you have your freshman, sophomore, and junior years worth of data for most of the major tests because they want to see strength and conditioning like progression. So my hope is that with Will Johnson, there is progressive numbers from those seasons that are satisfactory to Green Bay's scouting department, because what's going on now, we don't know. I just think Will Johnson's too much of a value. I don't know if Green Bay would make this pick, but I'm going to, because I would run this pick to the podium. I absolutely would, especially with what else is on the board. I guess Shamar Stewart would be the other pick that I would make here, but I think I've taken Shamar in a number of these. So I'm going to go ahead and take Will Johnson and see how things shake out. Okay. JT Tuimoloau is an absolute home run, no sweat pick for me at 54. Kyle Williams is an absolute, unless Jalen Royals is available. He is not. So Kyle Williams becomes a home run. This is really turning out well. I hope that I could potentially find somebody in the defensive tackle room that I like still. I am going to give, let's see, what else is available? Billy Bowman in the slot, Seth McLaughlin. I think we're gonna go with Logan Brown. He just fits everything that they like to do there. Then we'll go into the defensive interior here for round 5. And it's a bunch of dudes that I haven't checked out a ton. Not him. Never mind. I would take Deion Walker at this point. I don't know why he's fallen that far down on PFF's deal. I get that there's been some bad testing, but I would take Deion Walker and just see what I have in round 5. So I really like the way this one turned around. A lot of strong programs. That wasn't, usually I take like a Jalen Royals from a Utah State, or I mix things up a little bit. These are all Power 4 helmets, with, I guess, sort of the exception now of Kyle Williams at Washington State. I really like the way this one turned out. So for the audio listeners, that's Will Johnson, JTT, Kyle Williams, Logan Brown, and Deion Walker, the defensive tackle from Kentucky. Heavy on the trenches, obviously. You got a defensive end in round 2. You got an offensive lineman in round 4. You got a defensive tackle in round 5. And then a corner and a wide receiver to help satiate the fan base a little bit. Guys, thank you so much for following along. Drake Brewski, buy the draft guide. Gosh darn it. Go Pack Go.